And we heard today that facility is dramatically reducing its operations, laying off 250 workers. In Los Angeles, about 2,000 workers will lose their jobs, which shows again that this company may talk a good game. And they did talk a good game when we were in court a few years ago for a victim impact statement, when 3 of my co-defendants pled out of the case on the condition that they seized criticizing Smithfield online. Smithfield's PR representatives, and it was their public relations people, because this is a massive company, the workers have very little voice in the operations. One of the PR representatives came up and gave this tear-jerking speech about how we are a poor family farm that's just trying to support the community. And yet when it turns out, when costs increase a little and it's cheaper to produce their product in China, guess what happens to all the workers? Guess what happens to that entire community? It's decimated. All these people lose their jobs. An entire community in Vernon, California, and Beaver County, Utah will be destroyed. And the exact same thing just happened in Iowa, right? In Iowa, you heard about how the pigs were being roasted alive in this horrific process called ventilation shutdown. I'm going to show you the little birdie in a second because I feel a little bad. I just got home. I put her in the bathroom, but I want to say hi to her, give her some feed, introduce her to the bathroom that she's going to live in a week. So stay tuned for that. We are going to introduce you to the birdie. She has no name quite yet, and we'll have to think about a name and maybe come up with them together. But before I do that, I just want to point out the exact same thing happened in Iowa. After this company had forced its workers to roast animals alive, fired many of them for objecting to the process. After the entire process was done, and obviously they have no more pigs left, there's no more employment for the workers, they just fired everyone. They fired everyone. It was a mass culling of the employees along with the pigs. And none of those workers got legitimate severance packages. None of them were supported by the company. And that was an American company, still a mega corporation owned by one of the wealthiest people and one of the most politically influential people in Iowa, Jeff Hansen. But Smithfield, the difference is, in this case, our government and our taxpayer dollars are supporting a corporation that tortures animals, poisons the local air and the water, spreads disease throughout the county of Beaver, and there's good evidence of this, and now is shutting down its operations, firing all of its workers, leaving all these families without a breadwinner in their homes because it's a little cheaper to torture and kill pigs in China. So this is a great example of how people who don't quote unquote care about animals might not see themselves as in alignment with our fight against factory farms. This is an object lesson in how our fight is one and the same. That if you care about human rights, if you care about humans, if you care about workers, if you care about animals, our struggle is a struggle against unjust power being exerted by some of the most powerful corporations. And in this case, one of the most powerful and abusive governments in the world, which is the Chinese government, which effectively owns and operates Smithfield. But what a way to end the week.